My fellow 50 plus solopreneur, 1K a day, one person, no employees. Sounds like a dream. I just recently did a video about this topic, and it's people are really interested in this. And I taught this in a program decades ago, and it's gained popularity again. Now a lot of people are talking about creating courses and productizing your information, and it's amazing and it's so good to see. But there's a big mistake I see people making, big mistake. And the best way to illustrate it is by sharing a story. I did a live event probably about 13, 14 years ago. And one person comes up to me, and I'd seen her at a few events before, and she took one of my programs, and she pulled me aside and said, "Ryan, I really need your help. My course isn't selling." I said, "Okay, sit down, let's talk." And she said, I'm a cancer survivor. And I had the stage, I don't remember if it was stage 3, stage 4. Like I had this cancer and it was terminal, and my doctor said, I only have about 6 weeks to live. And she's like, and I got nervous and I did that. And then she explained like this whole healthcare system, holistic health, and all the stuff she did to basically heal, and then this workshop was a couple years later, and she's like, and now I'm on a mission to help other people diagnosed with cancer, beat cancer and live longer. And she said, but especially people who have this, stage 3, stage 4, like kind of, they're desperate at the end of the road and they don't have a lot of time. I said, that is an amazing mission, right? And if you could connect with a mission and a product and something you love and something that's going to help people, it's the greatest. Now, I'm not saying what her system is. I'm going to assume whatever it is you want to do is going to help people. Just like I assume whatever she was teaching was helping people, right? Like, this isn't about, I'm going to give people false hope and tell them they're going to cure their cancer, even though I know it's not going to work. That's not what I'm saying. That's the opposite of what I'm saying. If that's what you want to do, I ain't your guy. Like, there's people up there around, like on YouTube, that'll scam you and say, oh yeah, look, it doesn't matter, make the money, they got your money kind of crap. I'm not that guy. I think you should actually do things that crazy, actually help people. Could you imagine, like, actually having a business that helps people? Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. So I said, okay, tell me about the product. She said, it's a course. I basically took my entire system, everything I do and how I healed with cancer, I broke it down into this course. I said, okay, great. And she said it was, I think it was $800 or so. I said, all right, so tell me about it. She said, well, I haven't sold any. I said, none? She said, none. I said, okay, well, tell me a little bit more about the course. She said, well, she's like, I gave them everything, right? It's 30 hours of webinars and videos and training. And she's like, and it's a 6-month program. It's like every week they get another training for like 6 months. I said, okay, but tell me again who your person is. She said, it's someone who, has cancer and they only have like 4 to 6 weeks to live. And then I did my usual, like, just silence, kind of letting it sink in. And then I said, okay, so put yourself in their shoes. I said, how did you feel when you were diagnosed and only had, 4 to 6 weeks to live? How'd you feel? She's like, oh my God, I was nervous. I was panicking. Like all these emotions. I said, okay. And if you were them and put yourself, again, go back to that feeling, and you came across this course and it said, we're going to help you. I know you only got 4 weeks or 6 weeks. This is a 6-month program, baby. Like, by the end of 6 months, you're feeling good. Like, we're beating this thing. And then, like, you could see the light bulb go off. Like, oh my God, you're right. Like, it was so obvious, and it was staring her right in the face. And I'm not saying this to shame her or even to shame you if that's what you've been doing, or if that's what you wanted to do, or if that was your idea, because we have this feeling that, well, if I'm going to charge a lot of money, right? If I want to get to the magical 1K per day, and I'm selling $1,000 program, then I have to give more. It has to be a 3-month, a 6-month program, when the reality is most people want results faster, right? If I could teach you how to build a power washing company, how to build it from scratch, and I'll take you from zero to your first client, would you want to say you zero your first client in 1 week or zero your first client in 6 months? Of course you'd want it faster. And with her example with cancer, if you add on not just urgency, but life-changing, life-saving urgency, you can't make people wait. You have to always, always, always put yourself in their shoes. Always. Because the first thing people do if they're looking at you or your product or your offer is, not why should I buy this, but why shouldn't I buy this? They start thinking of objections first. All right, well, you're going to teach me how to lose 20 pounds. Why should I believe you? Why should I trust you? How long is this going to take? How much does it cost? Is there a guarantee? Has this worked for other people? So there's so many variables when it comes to selling a program and a process and putting it all into a course that you have to think this stuff through. But in the case of this person, where the promise is like, I'm going to help you heal, get better, even though you only have 4 weeks to live, it takes 6 months. It's done. And I'm not saying this to put the person down or to put you down, but you're thinking about it selfishly. You're thinking about, how can I elongate this? How can I add more stuff so that they can pay me more money? Because they're not going to want to pay for a $900, $1,000 for a 2-hour program. And that is where things get really interesting in terms of, and what I've learned over the decades in terms of product creation, how to price it, how long it should be, what's too long, what's too short, what's too high, what's too low. Like, all of these factors do play. And I've seen some people, because I've been doing courses since the late 90s, these young people come out and say, oh, just whatever you do is say, put it in a course and sell it for $1,000. No, no, not at all. It sounds simple, but the psychology of it isn't that simple. And the way you create your course and program has to be thought through, always from the customer perspective, not from your perspective. It ain't about you. It's never been about you. It's about them and what you can do for them and how you can help them, and getting out of the mindset of, I need to just add more stuff to add more value, and I need to make it longer, when we need to actually start condensing. And there are ways to do it, and to create maybe a mini course version, a micro course, a shorter one, a longer one for people at next stage. Like, there's different ways. And by the way, if you're interested, I'm putting up a new report all about this 1K method, just right below 1K, the number 1, the letter K. I'll send that to you, because we're going to be having some fun. But bottom line for today, think about your customer, your potential buyer, that person, and if you're playing fair, and what it is they really want, and how urgent this need is. And if it's something that they need to do, like if they need to pass their SAT, you don't pass an SAT. If you get, your MCAT, your SAT, your score, right? And the test is in 4 weeks, don't make it a 6-month program. If you're teaching people how to get fit when pregnant, as you're pregnant, don't make it a 12-month program, right? Science doesn't dictate that. And don't even make it a 9-month pregnant, because people don't know they're pregnant until after a little while. They don't know the day they become pregnant, right? So you have to start kind of thinking this through. Again, drop the word, no, it's not a word, the number and the letter 1K below, and I am putting together something cool for this. So, and we'll dive more in, but of course there's going to be more videos. If you like this, if you want my more ramblings and real world advice from the stuff I've been doing for decades here, just please like and please subscribe. It gets me in front of other people, and then I can keep sharing this stuff. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next video.